Hello and welcome to all of our Gold viewers from around the world. I'm Kristen Schwartz, licensed midwife and one of the MCs here at Gold Learning. And I'm today chatting with Anna Lagrange about the upcoming presentation that she has here with us at Gold. Welcome, Anna.
Thanks, Kristen. Great to be here.
Oh, it's lovely to have you here today. And you are part of our brand new lecture pack here at Gold that's titled Parent-Centered Lactation Care Lecture Pack. And we want to talk all about your presentation in just a moment. But first of all, introduce yourself to our speakers. Where in the world are you? Or listeners, of course. Where are you? Where are you located?
Sure. I am Anna Lagrange. I'm an IBCLC and a registered pediatric nurse. And at the moment, I live in the UK. In the next few weeks, actually, I'm going to be moving over to South Africa to start a new life there with my family and hopefully a new life of lactation work as well. So that's actually very exciting.
Very exciting. You have a big move ahead of you. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I was not aware of that. That's a huge change. And you are practicing, you're planning on practicing there as well in lactation as an IBCLC, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wonderful. Bringing all your wonderful work to that area. That's fantastic. I read something in your bio that really spoke to me. Yes, you're an IBCLC, but you're also a mindfulness teacher. Tell us a little bit more about this. I feel like, especially in these times that we're living right now, mindfulness is a word that we hear again and again as something, a tool that really can help us getting us through these rough times and for a more centered and balanced life in general. So tell us a little bit about how did you become a mindfulness teacher and what it brings to your practice.
Yeah, it actually links with my talk because I was a mum who with my third had an extreme low supply. I'd had breast surgery. So it was really, I had to find a way to be more okay with my situation. I had to find a way of being kinder to myself. And also I found at that time in my life that as well as improving my mindset and living a little bit more in the moment, apart from making me less anxious about the situation, it also had a positive impact on my physiology and how my body was working. And that kind of learning about the autonomic nervous system and how our hormones work. And I just became really, really fascinated with the mind-body connection. So when I did become a lactation consultant, that was always at the forefront of my mind. And that's predominantly, although I use all the clinical skills and I love that aspect of breastfeeding support, but really for me, using mindfulness or understanding the mind-body connection as a first step supporting families is incredibly powerful. Yeah.
The mind-body connection is so fascinating, right? And I feel like we learn more and more about this every day. There's new research coming out, new information, new wonderful things that are open to us now once we discovered this. And I mean, it has been around for quite a while, but it feels like now the focus is on it, and I feel like more and more people are able to benefit from that. Does that mean in your practice you're doing also exercises, mindfulness exercises, or you're giving your families mindfulness kind of homework as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to be really careful. We can be, I'm very enthusiastic about adding as much mindfulness and relaxation, but I've had 3 kids. I know what it's like to be a new mum. We don't have a huge amount of time for self-care. So we use very simple, small, short tools, things that people can do with their baby, things that they can do within 5 minutes so that it is feasible and something that they can fit into their everyday lives. Yeah.
That sounds actually really great because you brought this up, and you're a parent yourself, so one thing we hear a lot from our clients and the families we work with: oh, I don't have time for this. I'm busy, I'm stressed, I need everything I can. But there is ways to do it in like 5 minutes, or just short breathing exercise or something that they can do, or something even with their baby they can do, or as a family as together, and that doesn't require a lot of time at all, right?
Yeah, that's right. And the evidence is there to back that up. We know that just by taking 5 or 10 minutes out of our working day to really just focus, get out of our busy minds, focus inwards, spend some time in connection and calm. If we do that consistently, even just for 10 days in a row, physiologically on a cellular level, our body changes and becomes healthier. So I think most people, once they actually get started and use the tools, they soon see the impact of them, even though they're very small and simple. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. And you're also an author. You have authored the book, the Mindfulness Breastfeeding book. Just tell us a little bit about your book there.
Yeah, so the Mindful Breastfeeding book is a book for parents, but of course professionals are very welcome to read it. It's a very short and simple book, really just for the reason we were just talking about. I wanted to create something that was easy to read, easy to pick up, something small that people could just have in their handbag. It's full of little journaling prompts. It's got some relaxations in it, and then just teaching people the basics about the mind-body connection and why having that knowledge can be so powerful to their infant feeding journey and to their journey as parents actually as well. So it is a small, quick read, and it was intended that way. So yeah, I hope people, those who have read it, enjoy it.
Yeah, that's beautiful, because you hear that over and over again from clients. Oh, another book, oh, another course, oh, and it gets overwhelming, right? If there's a lot of information or thick books, that are very in depth and in detail, that people feel kind of the overwhelm with all the information. But if it's you described it perfectly, a quick, nice read that they can utilize, have in their pocket, and that's beneficial for them. That sounds absolutely marvelous. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the presentation. You mentioned it a little bit. The topic is breast and chest feeding after breast reduction, and you come to this topic because of your own experience. Give us a little bit of an overview about the topic.
Well, this is a subject very close to my heart. I do obviously have some personal bias on the subject as well, because I've experienced it. And actually, I would say probably around half of my clients now have had some kind of breast surgery. So I'm working in it, every week as well. And I think it's quite a fearful subject for a lot of lactation supporters, to be honest with you, because it's not something you come across every day. So I wanted to create a presentation that really has some useful, tangible, practical tips, because this is a special group of clients, and we can't just kind of say, oh, let's hope for the best and see how it works out. We've got to be a little bit more proactive with this group of clients. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to give people a little bit more confidence, so that when someone comes to them after having breast surgery to get support around feeding their baby, that they're going to, know which direction they can take it in. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. And I feel like there's also a lot of, you mentioned, I feel that there's a lot of misinformation around this topic as well. Would you agree with that?
I would. And I think, without wanting to do a disservice to our medical colleagues, I think, breast surgery does come from the cosmetic world of medicine. So I think that sometimes, in fact, probably most of the time, and I'm making assumptions and generalizations here, lactation isn't in the forefront of the mind of the surgeons who are working on that body. They're usually trying to, reduce the problems that person's having by giving them smaller breasts that look aesthetically pleasing, but there's sometimes with that it can affect the functionality, and I think there's not always a lot of honesty in the cosmetic surgery world, and that's really hard for women when they come to pregnancy and feeding their babies, because mixed up with that is a lot of difficult emotions around decisions they may have made when they were younger, or even more recently, like myself. I made that decision in the middle of my baby. So I have a lot of compassion for that, really. And I think that the feelings that go along with it can be really complex. But yeah, it is definitely a misunderstood area, and there isn't really the quality of research that we would find useful as lactation professionals. I'm hoping that will change. Yeah.
Oh, well, and thank you for giving us some tools here to work with clients. And you mentioned also the emotions there, that they can be very deep emotions, that come with the topic, going through the surgery. And then, when it comes to the topic of lactation, so working with parents and especially understanding better what is going on, not only on a physical level, but also on an emotional, mental level as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, again, understanding that mind-body connection, think many of us know that a difficult or a negative thought can actually completely derail our
Yeah.
infant feeding experience. So when we've got people who have been through surgery, many of them, it's something they've chosen, like I did, the feelings and emotions when it comes to feeding your baby can be really, really complicated. And
Hmm.
the more that we can acknowledge that and support people through those emotions, the less they're going to impact the journey that they're having and their
Yeah.
belief in themselves. Yeah.
So true. And before I let you go, Anna, what kind of little advice or nugget of wisdom would you share when it comes to the topic with our viewers right now?
Yeah, I'm just going to go back to the relaxation and the mindfulness because I think it's something that we all need to talk about more, and
Yeah.
actually something so simple that we can use with every single client that we work with. They don't have to have had breast surgery. Is just reminding them of, if we can relax our mind and our body, that generally things will improve both physiologically, but also with how we feel about ourselves. So yeah, don't be afraid to put in some relaxation tools into your practice.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Anna, for talking about the amazing work you're doing and the presentation here at Gold. And good luck with your big move. It sounds wonderful.
Thanks, Kristen. Thanks very much.
And for our viewers now, if you would like to find out more about this presentation titled Breast and Chest Feeding After Breast Reduction and more about the whole lecture pack, Parent-Centered Lactation Care, I'll invite you to visit Gold Lactation and goldlearning.com to find out more. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye-bye.